like from Autistic Wings Dance. And this is my mom. So, Mom, I heard we have big announcement.
We do. As President CEO of Autistic Wings Dance Company, I'm excited to announce that we listened to you, Pikes Peak Region. We heard that a lot of your kids were either too young for a pre-professional program or weren't quite ready for a pre-professional program.
So what does that mean?
That means we're going to open our class offerings and have more classes for more students during the daytime hours.
So when can people drop off their kids and pick up their kids?
That depends on what classes your kids are in. We're going to offer a pre-K program on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We're still finalizing the time with our staff. We're going to offer an early youth. Are you yawning? Of course she's yawning. We're going to offer an early youth program. That's going to be between the ages of 5 and 11. And those classes are going to run between 10 a.m. and noon on Monday, Wednesday, Fridays. The full schedule can be found on our website. We're also going to offer our later youth program from 9 to 18, Monday, Wednesday, Fridays, from noon to 3. Full class schedule is on our website.
So when are we going to have the little puppies?
The little babies will be Tuesday, Thursday. We're currently planning on having an early class for them so that it doesn't interfere with the time we are being told that the school system does their early child find and their early childhood intervention class at preschool classes in the afternoon.
So what classes are we going to be offering?
For the early babies, we're offering more movement classes than anything else. Though the older they get, the more that's going to turn into ballet and other classes. For our early youth classes, we're offering ballet, musical theater, and jazz. The same offerings we're offering for our later youth classes at the moment. As we get more students, those classes will expand over time.
So what else is going to expand over time?
We are seriously looking for a studio space for the evening. As much as we love Barbara Ellis Studio Dance and we appreciate them letting us in, we have heard a lot of parents say that they need a later class. Barbara Ellis Studio Dance will always be home and they will always be family to us. But we can't offer any more classes in the evening until we have more. We're also looking for teachers who can teach classes like hip hop and such. Finding teachers to teach dance classes during the day, though, can be a little difficult at times.
Can we bring Cash with us?
I don't know. You got to talk to Miss Suzanne over whether or not you can steal her dog.
Okay, in my defense, it is an adorable certified therapy dog.
Very true. Anyways, we do need to know what teacher. We are keeping our class sizes small. Our classes will be less than 10 kids a class. We need 8 kids to make each class, but we aren't going to have more than 10 kids in a class. 10 kids in a class is a lot for a neurotypical class. It's extremely a lot for a neurodivergent class.
Wait, so what would be like a lot for a neurodivergent class?
I think 10 is as much as the max of students we can get as a neurodivergent. I mean, you're autistic. I'm autistic. Do you do better with small classes or some of these large classes in studios which have like 20 kids in them?
Definitely small.
Definitely small. The board is still working on what the cost of classes are going to be. The more students we have, the cheaper we can get. The only way we can do that is to have more students, but we can't have more students in class. So that's one of the reasons we're extending our class offerings. Also, if we can find donors and sponsors, especially small businesses in the area who want to sponsor us, we can definitely keep class costs down.
How do we get donors?
Well, right now we're doing the last bit of our Facebook fundraiser. It ends early June. We are hoping to raise $1,200 on it, but if we at least raise $100, we get the money from it. If not, that money is returned to you. We're also running a Instagram fundraiser. If you are out of state, these are probably the best ways to donate to us. If you are in state or you want to donate a lot of money on a recurring basis, or even a small amount of money on a recurring basis, we do have donation forms on the website for recurring donations.
So, when do we get cupcakes out of this?
Cupcakes. Of course, that's what she's looking for. So
What?
August 3rd, we are having an open house at Barbara Ellis Studio of Dance. We are going to do an audition and a community class from 11 to 12:30. At 10 a.m. though, the doors are opening, so you can mingle with the staff. You can talk to our board of directors who are in town, and you can see what this is all about. If you're kind of wondering if your kid fits in, that's probably the best way to find out since we're not currently hosting classes.
And also, so will we ever be able to do like big, like not really that big, but at least some like fun little dances to show to everyone?
Yeah, we're working on that. Miss Zetta wants to get the kids into class to see what they can do. The problem with those big dances and with recitals is they cost a lot of money up front. So we would need roughly $30,000 to $40,000 just to host a rehearsal or recital. And that's a lot of money when we have a few $100s in the bank. So, I mean, that's why you see a lot of even your local for-profit studios selling advertisements in their recital stuff, is because they have to come up with $30,000 to $40,000 before they sell a single ticket.
Grown-up money is weird.
Grown-up money is weird.
Now I have so much questions about grown-up money.
Do you have any more questions about what we're doing?
The only thing I question is how much money are we putting into this?
Right now, a lot of that money is coming from our family, of course. You know, your dad and I truly believe in what you're doing. I'm not taking a paycheck as CEO until we can get enough money
To pay
do it.
you?
To pay me, yeah. But more importantly, pay an entire staff before paying me. Pay for scholarships before paying me. Keep the class costs low before paying me. Your dad and I are going to fund a lot of the background stuff until Autistic Wings can do it. If you're looking for something to help us with monthly, our website cost us $32 a month for hosting fees. Our newsletter costs $20 a month. Our emails for the staff and for the website cost us about $31 a month because Google gives us an amazing discount as nonprofits. And advertising costs more than you'd even begin to imagine. All that is broken down over on the website. If you are looking for in-kind donations, we could use people to donate food on August 3rd. So we have a party when we invite the community into our first community day.
That's a lot of money.
That is. Don't get me started on how much insurance costs.
I don't want to.
It's way more money. We also have to pay rent. We have to pay salaries.
When do you get paid in all this?
Right now, your dad and I are putting more money in than we're ever going to get out. I mean, we believe in the cause.
Yes, if you want help, so please give us enough money so we can pay my mom because my mom deserves this because my mom is the best mom.
I appreciate that. But what we need probably more than paying me is to be able to pay our staff.
Yes.
Right now, we would love to give our staff a living wage. I know hearing living wage and nonprofit probably don't go in the same category for a lot of people. If you're curious, right now, McDonald's workers in some situations make more than nonprofit office workers. Yeah.
That's McDonald's.
It is McDonald's, and they do have to deal with people. Yeah. But we would like to be able to offer our staff even health insurance, and that means we've got to fundraise.
Yes.
We also want to host a gala so that we can bring in some of those big donors and convince them to give us more money. A lot of the grants, we need to have a donor base in order to go to the grants. So if you can even do a $3 reoccurring donation a month, if we could get 100 to 1,000 people doing that, that would go a long way in convincing grant makers and philanthropists that people, even outside the studio, want to see these kids succeed.
Wait, what's a gala?
It's when you have to dress up in really fancy clothing,
What?
like fancy ball gowns.
Why?
And go and sit and listen to people talk about how great it is to support Autistic Wings.
Sounds evilly good. Is there at least cake?
There will be cake. I promise you we will have cake at all your events.
So there's at least one good thing out of a gala.
There is.
Gala sounds evil.
The other thing we need people to do to help support us, of course, is to follow us on all social media platforms. If you can follow us on YouTube, if you can follow us on Facebook, if you can follow us on Instagram, that shows, and they're free to follow, just in case you're wondering. And if you can, if you can like, subscribe, comment on the YouTube videos that they will allow you to comment on. YouTube does limit videos with kids to have comments. If you've seen comments on like TikTok, you understand why YouTube limits comments on kid videos. Mm-hmm. But that also shows the grant makers and the philanthropists that we have a lot of people who want to see this succeed. Are you yawning again?
No.
Also, subscribing to our newsletter shows an active support community. Even if you don't have a child involved in Autistic Wings, even if you don't know anyone who's autistic and you just want to support this great cause, go to our website, subscribe to the newsletter, and I can take that to grant makers and go, look, here, we have people giving $3 a month, this many people giving $3 a month, we have this many people giving, X dollars a month. We have a huge Facebook following. We have a huge newsletter group. That also helps us when we're going to sponsors with businesses like Sodanza, Capizio, local mom and pop shops going, hey, sponsor us. We're going to put your name out there. And people might come buy stuff from you. Because, we all love to support businesses that are supporting good causes like this.
And also, if you have any cute reptiles, birds, or puppies, or kitty cats, I want to know how adorable they are.
Yes, feel free to post. If you're on Facebook or Insta and you want to post pictures of your kitty cats and puppy dogs, I guess Lita would like to see them.
Yes.
Or reptiles or whatever other cute ones you have. You're like, I want to do a video of all this.
Yes.
We are also in the process of trying to figure out how to do level 2 and level 3. Level 2 autistic is slightly easier, if they're verbal at least, to bring in with the level 1 kids, but we would like to give them their own space. Level 3, I don't know that we're going to be able to do until we have a studio of our own where we can build an entire room specifically for level 3.
Entire room.
I mean, we want to make sure there's not stuff, especially the younger they are, that they can get hurt on while they're at the studio.
Yeah, I don't think anybody wants babies getting hurt.
No. But, neurotypical studios aren't looking at things like bars and going, well, they have screws, they have nails.
Wait,
babies,
bars, murder weapon for babies.
Well, not just for babies. I mean, if you've got a kid who's level 3, sometimes it's harder for them to understand not to scrape their hand against a nail or a screw that's loose. And we want to make sure that they're not doing that. We want to make it as safe as possible, which takes money we don't have yet. Also, if you are a small business or a grant maker or a philosopher,
Philosopher?
I have a stuttering problem. Get over it. I too went through speech therapy and all the therapies one could go through. Back then, though, we did not have as many cool things as you guys do now. I mean, seriously, y'all are spoiled compared to my generation.
Yeah,
not that that's a bad thing.
Cooler.
Yeah, but I mean,
neon.
The fact that,
Except I get the fact that I get to make my dad feel old, then it's funny.
Let's be honest. The fact of the matter is you guys have more support, and this will be one more support thing. A lot of us older people and Gen X, millennials, we did not, if they even diagnosed us, especially girls, we didn't get that support. We were told, oh, you'll just grow out of it and you'll understand social cues and everything. That's one of the reasons I think your dad and I support autistic.
At least there was Pac-Man.
There was Pac-Man.
Neon.
But, and I know a lot of older people on the spectrum will agree with me, stuff like this is important for the younger kids, especially because you'll be surrounded with other people like you. You're not going to be told to mask, because, and adults aren't trying to be mean when they tell you that. That was just how we grew up, was mask, mask, mask. You have to fit in as neurotypical, because if you're not neurotypical, you can't work, you can't do anything. This is the arts. The people who succeed are not neurotypical. They're all a little crazy, and they're probably all on the autistic spectrum if they were get tested.
And I can write it like puppy dog if I want to. Why are you laughing?
Because you're funny when we do these things. I mean, the big announcement, though, is we are definitely going to have classes. We're going to try, if we can get 40 kids, my back of the napkin math, and do not quote me on this, is we can have classes for under $280 for you to take all the classes. It would be helpful if we could get some grant makers. And if you know any grant makers, I know a lot of them are invite only.
I love them.
Feel free to talk to them about it.
But we
definitely need donors so that we can talk to them about it. And like I said, $3. I wish we could go down to $1 a month. I truly wish we had Patreon's ability to do it. The problem is we use a company called DonorBox. And as much as I love DonorBox, I truly do.
It's a box?
It is not a box.
What?
They have a cap at $3 as the lowest you can go. The reasoning for all the crazy people like me out there going, why is that? It is because people will steal your credit card and charge $1, and they'll charge them at nonprofits. So that makes us think we're getting a lot of money, whereas we're not, because all that money gets clawed back after, you go and tell your credit card it was stolen.
Yes. And I was like, how is donor box not a box? It's called donor box, so isn't it a box?
The idea, though, is DonorBox is used to back in the day. You would have boxes everywhere for donations.
Box.
So that's where they're coming from.
Box.
Is they're just now the online box.
Box. Wait, what? Box online? This makes no sense.
I know. Anyways, we are going to offer individual classes, but we're going to give priority to our kids who take all the classes. We are going to continue fundraising. I know summer is not the best time for fundraising because everyone's out doing vacations, and that's why, we're definitely looking at smaller donations. Honestly, everyone has their trains. Mine is Numbers. Hers is Monarch Butterflies. If you haven't noticed through everything.
Right.
But I've done the math. And one person giving me $100, I am not going to ever say no to a $100 donation. But
Who would?
I mean, I get one person giving me $100, and I don't have nearly as much as if I get 100 people giving me $3. 100 people giving me $3 is $300.
Grammar math makes no sense.
Probably helps if you also don't have dyscalculia.
What?
Yes. But we are trying our hardest to keep classes as cheap as we can. The issue, though, becomes...
Stigma.
I know. The issue becomes, and it remains, Dan, there's a lot of overhead. We have our rent, we have our insurance. If you've ever priced insurance, good insurance for a dance studio, it's expensive.
I don't think I can do this.
Um,
It's hard.
but the more kids we get in the programs, we'd like to cap each program this year at 20 kids. That's because we have 2 studios where it can have, and 10 kids in each studio would give us 20 kids. When and if we can expand, we are definitely going to expand, but we do need to keep that cap.
Yep.
And keeping that cap means our tuition is going to be more expensive. Which definitely means we need more donors.
A lot more donors. Like a lot. Like
A lot.
1,000 billion trillion.
I mean, if you're asking me, I would like.
Maybe.
I would love to see us get $200,000 from our gala this year, and probably a few $100,000 after that. We do have to pay for the gala, which is probably your Christmas present this year, as a big fancy gala. But I mean, it is what it is.
Yeah.
The more donors we get, the more reoccurring donors, because reoccurring is probably the biggest thing we need with donors. One, it shows you, you're yawning again. Reoccurring donations really do look amazing to the grant makers and the philanthropists and to the businesses we're going to work with, because reoccurring shows you have really bought in. Reoccurring shows that you're willing to give us $5 a month. I mean, $5 a month is less than a price of a Starbucks, depending on where you're living.
Reoccurring means you're a really nice person who probably has a really cute pet.
True. And the reoccurring also helps us budget more, because instead of getting one lump sum during the year, we know we have your money to look forward to every single month.
Every single month.
It does help budgeting. And it makes the board less annoyed at me for coming up with like 500 different on the back of the napkin things.
Also on the back of a napkin.
It's a phrase, kiddo.
It's a weird one.
It's from back in the day where you would write it on the back of a napkin while you were working at work lunches.
This makes no sense.
I know. Anywho's, if you don't have the money to donate, do not donate. We're not asking you to give up something you can't afford. We really are not. But if you can help us out by liking the Facebook page, search for Autistic Wings Dance Company, liking our Instagram page, Autistic Wings Dance Company, liking the YouTube channel, whether it be Lita's or Autistic Wings Dance Company. We're building them both up at the same time so that whichever one gets to where we can use stuff first, we can get there.
Button.
A lot of that really is weird. Like, if we are talking about like our YouTube, we need at least 100 people subscribing as a nonprofit to get to some of the cooler YouTube creator stuff.
Yeah.
They have dropped that number from 1,000 to 100, which is nice. We need. It used to be 1,000, but Google just redid a whole bunch of things with Google Ads, and they dropped a bunch of stuff to 100.
What?
The other thing, I mean, it used to be 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours. Yeah, there was a whole thing. You were like in a bedroom not wanting to listen to all the new stuff Google was doing for marketing while I was, I know.
Give me.
Anywho's, Facebook and Instagram, we cannot access data or analytics until we get to 100 followers on either of that. Even with MailChimp and our newsletter, we have to have at least 100 subscribers to the newsletter until I can get analytics.
Oh, chip.
That's
What?
no, they have a chimp as their chimpanzee as their thingy.
Does it have a
Anywho's,
chimpanzee?
yes,
Is it cute?
it's a cartoon character, so it's not really one way or the
So
other.
it's not a real chimpanzee?
Uh-uh.
Oh.
But they have a
cute.
lot of analytics that we cannot access until we have 1,000 subscribers. Like, we don't even know. I know kind of how many people are opening, but we don't know where they're coming from. We don't know where they are, what age groups they are, what whether they're male or female, or prefer not to answer, or somewhere else on the gender spectrum.
I thought they had a cartoon chip.
No, we don't get a lot of information until we get to that mark.
Oh.
Also, this is going to sound weird. We get free ads from Google Ads. We get $10,000 a month in free ads, which is amazing. But one of the ways you can help is if you see our ad while you're searching on Google, click through it, because we have to have a 5% click-through rate to keep that grant.
Right.
And that's $10,000 a month in ads is not shabby, especially when you can't afford your own ads. Once we have 100 subscribers and a few more watch hours, so you can rewatch like our shorts and everything over on Autistic Wings.
Yes.
We can use that ad money for YouTube ads as well, not just plain text ads on Google Ads, which is,
Play? No? Okay.
No. Another cheap, free way to support Autistic Wings is just click through on the ads.
Buttons.
Go to our website. Just going to the website starts showing Google and Bing that people are organically going to the website. And when you organically go to the website, they assume that people really enjoy this website. If you'll remember back in if you're old enough to remember back in the early days, very early days of websites, people used to get paid to just refresh clicking on or refresh going to a website over and over again for an hour to try and get the SEO and everything, convince people we're going there. I am not suggesting that, but maybe showing up once a day. What are you doing? Okay.
I'm doing something.
Yeah. All of this, if you know a small business or you are a small business and you're willing to let us put flyers in your business, put pamphlets up about our classes, that would help a lot. And you don't even have to give us money, and you're yawning through this whole thing. I feel like you're trying to say how boring I am. Are you saying I'm boring?
No.
Preteens, you can't.
I'm not reading to my
You're doing a very good job. These are ways to really support.
Yeah, I
Not
laughed too
only-
hard. There's water in my eyes now. I laughed too hard.
Oh, you're great. I love you. We definitely, one of the other things, not just getting our pamphlets out, we're trying to get the word out. And if you know of, how if you know of a child who would benefit from this, just letting them know. If you have a contact at one of the local autistic support centers and they're willing to let us talk to them about what we're doing, that would be great. We're going to do a podcast here in the near future about what our plans are, because we are not planning on staying like this. We're going to expand. We have a strategy. The board does have a strategy. It is not Lita that's making the strategy. She does have adults around her.
Unfortunately, because of apparently, because I'm 12, I'm not allowed to run the thing because apparently they figure 12-year-old child might accidentally do this at times.
No, it's more, the state of Colorado does have laws that if you are under 18, you cannot be on the board.
Why?
It's just the laws in Colorado. But you do come to all the board meetings, which is
I
really
don't
fun
know
when you're 12
why.
because you are the founder and you get to come to board
I
meetings.
don't even know anything.
Yeah, that's predominantly a board meeting, is everyone not doing much but listening to all the boring stuff.
I don't even know why I'm there half of the time.
Okay. And donations really will help us keep our costs low. We're going to put up our current budget, which is kind of not exactly our budget at the moment. One of the reasons it's not our budget is there's a few budget items we can't afford yet that we're just not going to do unless we can afford them. But we're putting that up on the website soon. That way you can go and see what the budget is. We are putting the strategy up on the website more than just the roadmap we have on the website right now, so that everyone can see where we're going. Honestly, we want to be as transparent as possible with our stakeholders and let them know where their money is going, because we don't want you thinking it's just going down the drain.
Down the drain.
There are a few things that we definitely have to pay for on the budget, like, salaries. We have to pay for the rent, and we have to pay for the insurance.
Insurance.
And then there's a bunch of stuff that, like I said, Lita, her dad, and I are paying for. Right now, it's, stretching the budget, our personal family budget, but we're making it work. You can't get back here.
Sorry.
And honestly, we really could. I know that there's support out there. Every time I talk to people about what we're doing, they're really excited. They think it's amazing. We just need
What?
we need to show people it's amazing.
I think you keep laughing.
Because you're cute.
What?
We need to show the grant makers and the philanthropists and the businesses that people do support this. And a $3 or a $5 reoccurring donation monthly, or an annual reoccurring donation, Donor Box will actually let you do a weekly reoccurring donation. So if doing $20 a month is hard on your budget, but doing $5 a week is easier on your budget, have we got a plan for you?
Yeah.
It's not just money though. Like I said, it's subscribing to the newsletter. It's joining Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and following us on there and subscribing on there.
Subscribe, please.
People have asked why we're not doing TikTok, haven't they? I know a lot of people are on TikTok. We've got young kids. I don't know that I want to put them forward on TikTok.
It's TikTok.
One of the trending hashtags, and I know it's trending on Instagram as well.
Oh, I know.
Yes?
How funny autistic kids are when they dance.
Yeah.
Very hurtful. Just gonna say, very hurtful. To all you people who are watching those things, very, very hurtful.
Autistic kids are always funny when they dance.
Hurtful.
I don't know that we want these kids seeing people commenting stuff like that.
Yeah.
Which is,
Hurtful.
it is hurtful.
Hurtful.
I mean, one of the reasons we're doing this is because of how hurtful it is to feel like you felt in studios before.
Yes.
And I know people are meaning it in the best light. They want to show how they're supporting you guys, autistic kids, by saying how funny you guys are.
And also, if you're one of these people who have done this, it is not helpful. This is very hurtful, and also you wonder why the world isn't really that good.
I mean, but it could be good.
Yeah.
I think things like Autistic Wings brings joy into the world.
Perfect.
I think it brings a light on the good.
Good.
I think that light on the good, though, has to acknowledge that there's light on the bad. You're yawning at me again. If you're listening to this on the podcast, by the way, we also have a YouTube podcast that you can go hear this in your car and not have to see all the yawning Lita is doing on me. But if you're watching on the podcast, she is yawning nonstop. Listening on the podcast. Let's see if Mom can talk today. But yeah, our big announcement, like I said, we've got new class schedule. We also, really do need the support of donations, follows, and subscribing. I will leave. You're just gonna laugh again.
Yes, and also if you're listening to this, my mom thinks I'm meaning to yawn, but I'm not. My body hates me today.
Anyways,
Also, I think I broke her.
you didn't break me.
Are you sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
We are going to leave links below for signing up at our website. If you're already sure you're going to join us, we have pre-registration going on. You can sign up at www.autisticwingsdanceccompany.org/dance-with-us. I'm leaving the link in the comments or in the description below or the comments below because I know that's a really long website. It is .org though. I want to point this out because even some of our board members keep thinking it's .com.
Okay, seriously, there's a .org on the briefing.org, pbskids.org, something, Amazon.org, Disney.
Yes, well, one of these days we're going to hopefully get an Amazon wish list going for you guys. Right now,
Yes.
other things. But we're also going to see, we have one board member who has a dancewear store.
Yep.
And we're going to see if we can't figure out how to do a wish list for our dancers on there where you can go and buy them the dance shoes, especially because, reasons. It is extremely expensive. For dance, for dance, yes. And it's extremely expensive for therapies. Oh yeah, we were going back to how to help us, weren't we? ADHD, yeah, that works great. Okay, well, it's not your fault. You got your ADHD from both parents. It's how this works.
Got from you, got from dad. I was basically doomed at the beginning.
Very true. Anyways, let's think this through. Back on track.
Not my fault.
I am certain there are families out there that don't have so much ADHD and autism under one roof, but I don't know how they survive. We have way too much fun with all the autism and ADHD under this roof.
If you're also a family whose whole thing is where everybody under your roof has autism and ADHD, or just autism, or just ADHD, just comment.
Okay, can we get back on track
Yes.
here? The Facebook is Autistic Wings Dance Company. The Instagram is Autistic Wings Dance Company. Our YouTube channel is Autistic Wings Dance Company.
I think basically everything with this is Autistic
Everything
Wings Dance
is
Company.
Autistic Wings Dance Company.
What is that?
Hold on. I'm having issues, of course. Oh, shoot.
Hopefully this clip doesn't get destroyed.
Mom realizing she had plugged the computer into an outlet that wasn't working.
I love this speaky, talky.
We were discussing how subscribing and following is very important.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and if you have a dancer that you know is going to join us, that you can pre-register online. Pre-registration in both the both the pre-professional and the youth programs and the preschool programs helps us know how many teachers we need to bring in.
Teachers.
We have teachers that are willing and able to step in at any time. It just would probably help if we told them they needed to show up on a certain day.
Ma'am,
Yes.
you really need to start telling people that
It's probably helpful.
That is helpful to communicate. I know we're both autistic, but come on.
But yeah, if you, and here probably within the next week or so, I may have an RSVP up on the website, just so we know how many people are thinking about coming. RSVP. Just so we know how many people are thinking about coming to the open house. That way we have enough food and cupcakes. Otherwise you're going to eat all the cupcakes, aren't you?
No.
Really?
Yes.
You're not going to eat all the cupcakes?
Well, if we have Miss Maud coming, then yes.
I don't think we told Miss Maud there was an open house. I'll tell her, you know.
Yeah, but if she watches this, she's gonna know.
I don't think Miss Maud is watching your podcast. I don't think I told her you have a podcast.
I'm not the one dying.
Anyways, yeah, definitely the biggest help right now outside, our big announcement was the classes.
Yep.
And because we do kind of need to have an idea of how many donors we're going to have and how much money we have, we do need those before we can tell you how much the classes are going to cost. But I have it down, and we kind of need to know how many students we think we're getting.
How many?
Let's see, so we can tell Mrs. A, so Mrs. A can tell Cash, so Cash can come.
I don't know if Cash is the dog of this owner of the studio we're going to.
He's a certified therapy dog. Of course he's gonna come. He's certified. And that's supposed to certified therapy dog can't be a danger to any sort of children because certified therapy dog, you can't be a therapy dog if you're dangerous.
Let's get back on.
Okay.
But yeah, we are definitely going to quickly, hopefully, get everyone in and get people excited. And we're going to hopefully make sure that everyone's happy.
Bouncy bunny.
And get some grants going. But like I said, we've got to show that we have stakeholders, which is where you guys come in, is being our stakeholders and showing you support this.
Stakeholders?
Nonprofits, it's called stakeholders because you don't get anything back from your donation, but you can hold us accountable. I mean, we are accountable to everyone, whether or not you're a student in the class, a parent in the class, or just someone who's donating. Whereas then usually you're accountable to your stakeholders.
So they don't hold sticks?
Or to your shareholders. No, they're just, we have to be accountable to them.
I get no say.
This is, okay. Anyways. Yeah, you have to go practice a bunch of dances, don't you?
Yeah.
So we should probably wrap this up.
Yeah.
And see if Mom messed up the first part by letting the computer run down before it got up on Riverside. We'll see if I have to redo everything.
Not bad.
All right. So should you wrap this up and say talk to everyone later?
Okay, see you all later, and your kids' adorable pets.
Don't forget to like, subscribe, all that other fun jazz to help us out.
Yeah, babies.